We're back with another video. But this isn't just any video, guys. This is like the ultimate scary video. We're talking about the top 10 scariest videos ever found on the internet. Like seriously, guys, these videos are the real deal. We're talking creepy, unsettling, disturbing stuff. I'm talking about the kind of stuff that will make you sleep with the lights on for weeks. So if you're easily scared, you might want to click off this video right now. Seriously, guys, you've been warned. But if you're like me and you love a good scare, then buckle up, Buttercup, because we're going on a wild ride. Make sure you've got your snacks, your blankets, and maybe even a nightlight, because things are about to get creepy. Alright, starting off our countdown at number 10, we have the Marble Hornet series is a classic of the internet horror genre, and it's easy to see why. This found footage series follows a group of film students from Alabama who are stalked by a mysterious entity known as Slender Man. The whole thing is shot in this shaky, handheld style that makes you feel like you're right there with them, experiencing the terror firsthand. What makes Marble Hornets so effective is the slow burn approach to the horror. It starts with these weird, unsettling occurrences, strange noises, missing footage, glimpses of something in the background. But as the series progresses, things get increasingly more intense and disturbing. The Slender Man figure becomes more prominent, and the characters start to lose their grip on reality. The creators of Marble Hornets, Troy Wagner and Joseph DeLege, did an amazing job of building a mythology around Slender Man using cryptic messages, hidden codes, and RG elements to draw viewers into this creepy and immersive world. It's like falling down a rabbit hole of paranoia and fear, and you can't help but get sucked into the mystery. The series sparked a whole Slender Man phenomenon, inspiring countless creepypastas, fan art, and even real-life incidents. Marble Hornets is a masterclass in internet horror, and its impact on the genre is undeniable. The journey of Marble Hornets began as a simple student film project in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, but it quickly evolved into something much more sinister and captivating. The creators, Troy Wagner and Joseph DeLege, initially set out to make a short film, but their project took on a life of its own. They drew inspiration from the Slender Man mythos, which had already been circulating on internet forums and creepypasta websites. The early episodes of Marble Hornets are a masterclass in building tension. Each episode is meticulously crafted to slowly draw the viewer into the unsettling world of the characters. The characters' fear and confusion are palpable, making the viewer feel as if they are experiencing the terror alongside them. One of the most intriguing aspects of Marble Hornets is the use of cryptic symbols and hidden messages. These elements add an extra layer of mystery and encourage viewers to become active participants in unraveling the story. Fans of the series took to online forums to discuss theories and decode the hidden messages, creating a sense of community and shared experience. The sudden appearances of Slender Man are genuinely terrifying, often catching both the characters and the viewers off guard. As the series progresses, the characters' mental states deteriorate further, showing signs of paranoia and fear that are almost contagious. The impact of Marble Hornets extends beyond the series itself. It has inspired a wealth of fan art, tributes, and even other web series that seek to capture the same sense of dread and mystery. In interviews, the creators have discussed the unexpected success and lasting legacy of Marble Hornets, expressing gratitude for the passionate fan base that has kept the series alive. As we conclude our journey into the world of Marble Hornets, it's clear that this series has left an indelible mark on the internet horror genre. Its blend of found footage, psychological horror, and interactive storytelling has set a high bar for future creators. The legend of Marble Hornets continues to inspire and haunt, reminding us that sometimes the scariest stories are the ones that feel all too real. Alright, moving on to number 9, we have the Max Headroom incident. Okay, So this one's a little different, but trust me, it's just as creepy. Like, picture this. It's November 22nd, 1987. You're chilling at home in Chicago, watching Doctor Who on WTTW channel 11, when suddenly the broadcast gets hijacked. And it's not just like a regular interruption, guys. It's this weird, distorted figure wearing a Max Headroom mask. Like, remember Max Headroom? That creepy CGI character from the 80s? Yeah, it was like that, but like 1,000 times creepier. The whole thing lasted for like a minute and a half, but it felt like an eternity. The figure was like laughing maniacally, making these weird noises, and saying all this gibberish, like it was like something out of a David Lynch movie. You know what I mean? Super unsettling. And the creepiest part, to this day, no one knows who did it or why. Like, the FBI investigated it and everything, but they never found the people responsible. It's like they just vanished into thin air, which honestly just makes the whole thing even creepier. Okay, so the Wyoming incident. This one's crazy. Imagine sitting at home in Cheyenne, Wyoming, watching some local access channel, right? Like, nothing's going on, just some boring stuff about, I don't know, town meetings or whatever. And then, bam, this weird, distorted image pops up. You'd be like, what is this? Did my cable box just have a stroke? It's like something out of a horror movie. This video, it's like a fever dream. It's all distorted figures, creepy messages flashing on the screen, and this eerie silence that just gets under your skin. It's like looking into another dimension, but like a really messed up dimension where everything's broken. The worst part? Nobody knows who made it, why they made it, or what the heck it even means. Like, imagine putting a message in a bottle, throwing it into the ocean, but instead of a message, it's just pure nightmare fuel. It's out there, man, floating around the internet, just waiting to scare the crap out of someone. Honestly, the mystery of it all is what gets me the most. It's like our brains are hardwired to find patterns, to make sense of things. But this video, it just throws all that out the window. Alright guys, this next one is seriously messed up. It's not your typical scary video with jump scares and creepy music, but it's way more unsettling. We're talking about the Elisa Lam elevator footage from the Cecil Hotel in Los Angeles. If you haven't seen it, buckle up, because this one will stay with you. So, Elisa Lam was a 21-year-old student from Vancouver, Canada, who went missing in Los Angeles. She was staying at the Cecil Hotel, which, side note, has a super creepy history in itself, including ties to serial killers like Richard Ramirez. But that's a whole other video. Anyway, Elisa disappeared, and the LAPD released this footage from the hotel elevator, hoping someone would recognize her and come forward with information. The video itself is just plain weird. Elisa is acting really strangely. It's like she's talking to someone, but there's no one else there. She's peeking out of the elevator, hiding in the corners, pressing all the buttons. It's just bizarre. And the creepiest part? This is the last known footage of Elisa before she vanished. Like, she walks out of that elevator and just disappears into thin air. It's chilling, man. Okay, so this next one, the grifter, it's not for the faint of heart. Seriously, if you're easily spooked, you might want to skip this one. This video, it's like the definition of creepypasta. It's this weird experimental film that's full of disturbing imagery and unsettling sounds. The first time I saw this, I was like, what in the world am I watching? It's just so bizarre. It's like someone took a bunch of random clips, threw them in a blender with some nightmare fuel, and hit puree. There's this grainy VHS quality to it that just adds to the creepiness. The sound design is what really gets me. It's all distorted voices, strange whispers, and these unsettling noises that you can't quite place. It's like listening to a horror movie soundtrack on loop while tripping on something you shouldn't have taken. But the worst part is, you can't look away. It's like this weird, hypnotic thing that just draws you in. You know it's going to be messed up, but you keep watching, hoping to make sense of it all. If you want to stay safe from these terrifying incidents, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Stay safe and keep watching. Okay, so this one messed me up for a while, you guys. I mean, I couldn't sleep for days after hearing about it. It's one of those stories that just gets under your skin and stays there. It's called the Russian sleep experiment, and it's supposedly based on this like super secret experiment that went horribly wrong. We're talking about a level of wrong that you can't even begin to imagine. Like, I'm talking Frankenstein levels of wrong. You know, the kind of stuff that makes you question the very nature of humanity and what we are capable of. So, the story goes that these Russian scientists, led by Dr. Alexei Ivanov, wanted to see what would happen if they kept people awake for like 30 days straight. They were curious about the effects of extreme sleep deprivation on the human mind and body. I know, it already sounds insane, but it gets even crazier when you hear the details. So they get these political prisoners from the infamous Lubyanka prison in Moscow, which is already super messed up, and they stick them in this chamber, right? These were people who were already in a bad situation, and now they were being used as guinea pigs in this twisted experiment. And they pump in this gas, this like experimental gas called Noxium, that's supposed to keep them awake. The idea was that this gas would somehow prevent them from falling asleep, no matter how exhausted they got. And it worked, but not in the way they thought it would. Instead of just staying awake, the subjects started to exhibit some really bizarre and disturbing behaviors. Like, at first, everything seems kind of chill, you know? The subjects are talking, they're playing games, they're just like vibing in this weird gas chamber. It almost seemed like they were getting used to the situation. The subjects are talking, they're playing games, they're just like vibing in this weird gas chamber. But then things start to get really, really dark, like really dark. But then things start to get really, really dark, like really dark. The subjects started getting paranoid, right? They began to suspect each other of all sorts of things. The subjects started getting paranoid, right? They started whispering to each other, like accusing each other of being spies and stuff. It was like the gas was messing with their minds in ways no one could have predicted. They started turning on each other. The paranoia escalated quickly, and soon they were at each other's throats, both figuratively and literally. They're whispering to each other, like accusing each other of being spies and stuff. The atmosphere in that chamber must have been absolutely suffocating, filled with fear and suspicion. And the scientists, they're watching all of this go down on these cameras they set up. They were observing every single moment, taking notes, and probably feeling a mix of horror and fascination. But it gets so much worse, you guys, like way worse. The paranoia and aggression were just the beginning. Some of the subjects start like mutilating themselves. They were tearing at their own flesh, ripping out their own organs, and doing things that are just too gruesome to even describe in detail. Time seemed to stretch on forever in that chamber. Every second must have felt like an eternity for those poor souls trapped inside. The scientists were horrified, but they didn't stop the experiment. They were too caught up in their pursuit of knowledge, too blinded by their own curiosity to see the human cost of what they were doing. The subjects descended further into madness. They were no longer recognizable as the people they once were. Their minds and bodies were breaking down in ways that defied all logic and reason. The chamber became a place of nightmares, a hellish landscape where the boundaries between reality and insanity blurred beyond recognition. Eventually, the scientists had to make a choice. They could either end the experiment and try to salvage what was left of the subject's humanity, or they could continue and risk losing them completely. They decided to open the chamber, hoping to bring the subjects back to some semblance of normalcy. But what they found inside was beyond anything they could have imagined. The subjects were barely human anymore. Their eyes were hollow, their expressions vacant. They had become something else entirely, something monstrous. The scientists were left to grapple with the consequences of their actions. They had pushed the boundaries of science too far, and now they had to face the horrifying results. The experiment was a failure in every sense of the word. It left behind a legacy of pain, suffering, and unanswered questions. And for those who heard the story, it served as a chilling reminder of the dangers of unchecked curiosity. So yeah, this one really messed me up. It's a story that stays with you, a haunting tale of what happens when we lose sight of our humanity in the pursuit of knowledge. And honestly, it's one I won't be forgetting anytime soon. Have you guys seen this one? The Plague Doctor video from the old St. Mary's Hospital in London. This is one of those videos that just freaks me out on like a primal level, you know. It's just something about the mask, the way he moves, it's just unsettling. So the video itself is pretty simple. It's just this figure, right, dressed up as a plague doctor. You know, the ones from the Black Death with the long beaks and the creepy masks. He's just standing there in this like abandoned building. It looks like an old hospital or something. And he's just staring at the camera. And I know what you're thinking, Shane. It's just some dude in a costume. But there's something about the way he moves. The way he just sort of like glitches in and out of the frame. That makes it seem like there's something more going on. Like this isn't just some dude messing around with his friends. This feels different. And the mask, dude, the mask is what really gets me. It's like you can't see any emotion in his eyes, you know? It's just this blank white stare. Like he's looking right through you. And it's like he's trying to tell you something, but you don't want to know what it is. This video was supposedly shot by a guy named Mark, who was exploring the abandoned hospital with his friends. Okay, so this one still gives me chills, you guys. It's called the Blue Ridge Parkway incident, and it's one of the creepiest unsolved mysteries I've ever heard of. So, picture this, it's recent, right? We're in the Appalachian Mountains, near the Blue Ridge Parkway. This group of hikers, led by Sarah Thompson, and including her friends, Mark Evans, Lisa Carter, and John Harris, they're all experienced. They know what they're doing. They set out on this expedition. They're supposed to be gone for a couple of days, but then nothing. Days go by, and their families are freaking out, right? They're like, where are our loved ones? So they send out a search party, and what they find is, well, it's the stuff of nightmares. They find the hiker's tent near Mount Mitchell, but it's ripped open from the inside, like something tore its way out, and all of their stuff is still there. Their food, their supplies, even their shoes. It's like they just abandoned the tent in a hurry, like something scared the living daylights out of them. And it gets weirder, you guys, like way weirder. They find the hikers' bodies scattered around the campsite, some of them partially dressed, some of them barefoot. And here's the really messed up part. Some of them had strange injuries, like internal injuries, but no external wounds. It was like something had crushed them from the inside out. Okay, guys, buckle up, because this next one is seriously messed up. We're about to dive into a topic that will send chills down your spine and make you question the very fabric of humanity. We're diving into the dark side of the internet, the kind of place that makes you want to shower after just hearing about it, the deep web. This hidden part of the internet is not indexed by standard search engines and is often associated with illegal activities and disturbing content. The Deep Web Red Room, for those who don't know, is this horrifying legend about a website where you can allegedly watch live torture and murder. It's a concept that has been whispered about in the darkest corners of the internet, and the very idea of it is enough to make your skin crawl. It's like something straight out of a horror movie, and honestly, a part of me hopes it stays there. The thought of such a place existing in reality is too terrifying to comprehend. The stories about these red rooms are terrifying, with descriptions of unimaginable acts and victims begging for their lives. These tales are filled with graphic details that are not for the faint of heart, painting a picture of pure horror and despair. It's the kind of stuff that makes you question humanity and leaves you feeling super disturbed. How could anyone derive pleasure from such cruelty? It's a question that haunts anyone who delves into these dark tales. No one knows for sure if these red rooms actually exist, and honestly, a big part of me hopes they don't. The ambiguity surrounding their existence only adds to the fear and intrigue. Some people claim to have seen screenshots or even videos, but they're always super grainy and impossible to verify. These alleged pieces of evidence are often dismissed as hoaxes or fabrications, but the doubt lingers. The whole thing is shrouded in mystery, with whispers and rumors circulating on forums and message boards. These online discussions are filled with speculation and fear, feeding the legend of the Red Rooms. It's like this creepy urban legend that just won't die. And the uncertainty of it all just makes it even scarier. The more people talk about it, the more real it seems, even if there's no concrete evidence to support its existence. I mean, just think about it. The possibility that something so depraved could be happening in the darkest corners of the internet is terrifying. The internet, a place we use for everyday activities, could also be a gateway to unimaginable horrors. It really makes you wonder what people are capable of. The anonymity of the internet can bring out the worst in people, allowing them to explore their darkest desires without fear of consequence. This video, whether real or fake, taps into our deepest fears about the unknown and the dark side of human nature. It forces us to confront the possibility that there are people out there who find joy in the suffering of others. The idea of red rooms also raises questions about the nature of evil and the lengths to which some individuals will go to satisfy their twisted desires. It's a chilling reminder that the world is not always as safe and predictable as we like to believe. Whether these red rooms are real or just a product of our collective nightmares, they serve as a stark warning about the potential for darkness within us all. It's a sobering thought that makes you appreciate the light in your own life a little more. So, the next time you hear a whisper about the deep web or a red room, remember that some mysteries are better left unsolved. Sometimes, the scariest thing is not knowing what lies behind the door. Stay safe out there, and remember to tread carefully when exploring the darker corners of the internet. You never know what you might find or what might find you. In the end, the legend of the Red Rooms serves as a reminder of the power of the internet to both connect and terrify us. It's a place where our darkest fears can come to life, and where the line between reality and fiction is often blurred. So, as you navigate the vast expanse of the internet, always remember to stay vigilant and protect yourself. The digital world is full of wonders, but it's also home to some of the most disturbing whispers you'll ever hear. And with that, we've reached the end of our journey into the disturbing whispers of the deep web. Stay safe, stay curious, and always question what you see. Until next time, take care. Okay guys, we've made it to our final entry, and let me tell you, this one is a doozy. The Ghost of Carmel, Maine, captured by Kent Burris. This video, oh my god, this video still gives me chills. It's like this grainy footage, right? Like someone just picked up an old VHS camera from the 90s and started filming. The legend begins when Kent and his family in Carmel, Maine, started noticing weird stuff happening in their house, like things moving, strange noises, classic ghost stuff. So naturally, they decided to set up a camera to try and catch whatever it was. And let me tell you, what they caught on camera is chilling. There's this one part, right, where this like shadowy figure just kind of like glides across the hallway. It's like a split second, but it's so creepy. I've watched it like 100 times, and I still can't figure out what it is. Some people say it's just dust, or like a weird reflection, but I don't know, man. It looks pretty real to me. And Kent's family swears that like right after they caught that footage, the activity in the house got even worse. Like way worse. They ended up moving out like not long after that. They said they just couldn't handle it anymore. And there you have it, guys. The top 10 scariest videos found on the internet. I don't know about you, but I need a nap and a whole lot of therapy after watching all that. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this countdown, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more spine-chilling content. Let us know in the comments which video scared you the most.